Hello there. The clock is ticking and the government needs to get on the front Brexit foot and go for it. It's time for the UK to toughen up over Brexit, says Austin Mitchell, the former Labour MP for Great Grimsby, writing in Brexit Central. In his article, Austin Mitchell compares the Churchill evacuation from Europe with May's evacuation from the EU, saying, "Churchill's was tough but triumphant. Hers is looking tougher and messier." He also says that our PM has decided to be nice and has therefore ignored all the clear rules for successful negotiation, which he says are: decide clearly what you want and employ the cleverest and toughest team to get it. Demand the maximum and look determined to get it. Exploit your opponent's weaknesses and conceal your own. Threaten and mean it to walk out unless the other side is reasonable. Now, how many of those boxes does Theresa May tick? Austin Mitchell also says it's time to make it plain that any concessions already made by the UK are conditional on a good trade deal, and that we should be ready to reply to EU threats with threats of our own, that we are not going to stay in the CFP and CAP a moment longer, and finally that we need to make the economy Brexit-proof with state and regional aid of our own, together with Keynesian expansion policies. Britain's choice is whether to fight back or be palsied by fear into becoming a servile satellite to a failing union, he writes. And this is echoed in The Sun, which says, "We are 14 months from leaving and just weeks from trade talks starting. The Cabinet must decide what it wants, fast, and go hell for leather to get it." It also points out that the exaggerated pessimism from ministers and civil servants has led to poor decision-making. Nowhere is this more obvious, though, than the Bank of England, it says, whose exaggerated pessimism before and since the referendum has led to bad decisions and proved embarrassingly wrong. Now for some stats. Retail sales were up by 0.4% in the final quarter of 2017, and the quantity bought in December 2017 was up 1.4% compared to last year. Annual growth in sales was up 1.9%. Although December's sales were down by 1.5% when compared to November, this was because people's buying patterns now meant they shopped for Christmas in November due to such things as Black Friday, said the Office for National Statistics. Although not the best retail sales growth ever seen, it is a far cry from the doom and gloom foretold by the Remainers. It turns out that Brexit is healthy and stops us overeating on snacks. McVitie's is reported to be reducing the number of biscuits in a packet of digestives because of the recent fall in the value of sterling, and this follows on from their earlier decision to cut the number of Jaffa cakes from 12 to 10. This will also affect hobnobs, reports Sky News. Yes, I know I've spun the story to make it pro-Brexit, but just to put this story in context, let's look back at a report in the FT from April 2016, before the EU referendum, when we were supposedly all going to vote to remain, where it reported, "Packets of McVitie's Digestives dark chocolate biscuits have become lighter, going from 332 grams to 300 grams. Which notes that in Tesco these biscuits were sold for £1.59 before they shrank, and actually increased to £1.69 after. Food for thought, so to say. Anyway, at the Anglo-French summit in Sandhurst Military College yesterday, the Prime Minister Theresa May upset some in her party by agreeing to pay the French £44 million towards bolstering up Calais port area security to help prevent illegal immigrants from reaching the UK, but then agreed to take a greater number of migrants and speed up their passage into the UK. That makes £170 million over 4 years that we've now handed over for Calais security. Many people think that, as the French let them into France in the first place, it is their responsibility and they should shoulder the cost. And also that our agreement to take more migrants could act as a pull factor, endangering more lives in the future as people are encouraged to take the risk to travel across continents to get to the French coast in the hope of then getting into the UK. But we do get a loan of the Bayeux Tapestry in return. I wonder if we'll be charged an entrance fee to see it. And while attending that summit, our Boris reportedly floated an idea with the French President Emmanuel Macron of dealing with troubled Brexit waters by building a channel bridge. There does, though, seem to be some confusion about whether his comments were about some sort of fixed link or other major infrastructure projects, with Number 10 saying that there were no specific plans for a bridge. Apart from the difficulties of spanning the busiest waterway in the world, there is also the vexed question of what it would be called. After all, Chidge doesn't roll off the tongue in quite the same way that Channel does. They would also presumably have to leave copious room for a refugee camp on the French side too. What do you think? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.